Creating a confident descending position has multiple different levels to it of how we're going to get there. The very first point of call that you're going to approach is your line of sight. So knowing what to prepare for beforehand. This does a few things. This allows you to start preparing beforehand. So if you need to make necessary braking adjustments for any sort of thing, especially we might be slowing down, we might be accelerating. So a general good range is about 5 to 10 meters ahead of you, and then keeping your peripherals going as well, just to navigate and know what else is coming. So for example, if there's a jump, if there's a hairpin corner where you'd be turning back on yourself, instead of going off the trail, you need to slow down beforehand. This is also crucial when riding blind. Riding blind is just riding a trail that you've not seen before, making sure that you're looking ahead to know what's coming so that you're not caught off guard. Sometimes riding familiar trails is easy, but riding a new trail is a little bit trickier because you don't necessarily know what's coming, but making sure that you're looking ahead will obviously help to do and prepare for whatever's coming up. After line of sight, your next critical technique is braking. So braking is important with your descending position, just because whatever's happening on the trail, you need to be preparing beforehand. So being able to control your braking allows you to do that. So the best way to do this is obviously slowing down in a straight line and knowing where you can slow down. So again, your peripherals are going to allow you to do that. Looking ahead and seeing, okay, I could brake in between these corners because there's a bit of a straight. And again, because you'd be slowing down a lot better in a straight line than you would while cornering. So again, slowing down before entering the corner and then exiting with speed, as opposed to panicking, realizing that you're in the corner, then trying to slow down and having to pedal out. Your descending position builds from your technical position. So what we want to do is start with all the same positions that you're going to get in your technical riding position. So understanding that you need to get your chest down, spread your weight nice and evenly between the bike, using your arms and legs and allowing the bike to move around underneath you. What happens is when riding descents, the terrain and the gradient is going to vary greatly. So what happens is your bike is naturally going to be following the gradient of the ground, the camber of the ground. So what's going to happen is your front and back wheel are going to be dropping accordingly, so it's going to create a bit of a rocking motion. A good way to understand this, you're going to try compensate for this, is picturing someone riding a mechanical bull. So allowing the bike and the bull to move around underneath you and keeping your body and torso and chest and head as stable as possible. So I'd be getting down and allowing the bike to do these big movements underneath me. So I would be rocking, trying to keep that as stable as possible, letting the bike rock as it needs to. So I'm compensating with my body by allowing the bike to rock and adjusting for that. I'm not trying to let my body follow with what the bike is doing. I'm allowing the bike to follow the camber of the ground and roll off obstacles and whatever I'm busy navigating.
Hey guys, quick reminder, if you haven't liked and subscribed already, if you could, I'd much appreciate it. I'm really enjoying making these videos and I'd love to carry on doing it. Enjoy.
Your line of sight is super important. Where you're looking dictates what's happening and how you're going to handle stuff on the trail. It's very important, especially for sections like this, what's happening and what's coming up. So for example here, I'd have two different line options going into a corner. So firstly, I'd need to know how I'm going to prepare for that corner beforehand and that I'm not going to be so. Which line would suit me best, inside or outside, and can I brake on either line? So those are the kind of questions I'd be navigating and asking myself as I'm coming down a trail. So preparing and looking ahead gives me the ability to do so. It gives me that split second decision so that I don't just unnaturally end up where I don't want to be. So if I don't necessarily like riding inside lines that are coming into the inside of the corner, I'd then be able to adjust and come to the outside of the trail and set up wide, do my braking there, and then worry about my corner. But again, making sure that I'm looking ahead allows me the ability to do that. Detaching from your bike is a super critical skill. Often something overlooked and still taught at a higher level. So anytime you start descending, riding any sort of technical terrain, when you're in your technical position or even in a descending position, you want to be detached from the bike. So the only points of contact you want are on your hands and on your feet, attached to the clips. You don't want to be pinching the saddle. You want the bike to be allowing to move freely underneath you. So you want to be detached from the bike. What this allows you to do is just your legs acting as suspension, and so along with your arms, and the bike is allowed to move freely around underneath you. And again, what we're trying to do is just keep our torso stable, and again our head. Anytime I'm pinching the saddle, I'm attaching my hips directly to the saddle. So whatever's happening to the bike is happening to my hips. So ideally what I want to do is just open them nice and relaxed, a little bit of a outward bend with my knees, and that's all I'm looking for.
I really hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you learned a lot. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe, it would mean a lot. Anyhow, jump on to the next video and let's see what else you can learn.